everyone, I'm Mariam from Untitled channel. So today we're gonna talk about the past perfect continuous. But before we start, let's bring a guest, the past perfect continuous, cause I don't love to talk about people when they are absent. So let's bring in. Okay, so here we have the past perfect continuous. So let's welcome our guest. Hi, past perfect continuous. So let me give you a comment about this tense. This tense is a bit difficult because sometimes some students do not understand what is this tense and how do we use it and is it important or not. So let me tell you something. It is important. It is useful in your life. And I'm gonna give you some examples to know this tense. But before that, let me tell you the meaning of the title, past perfect continuous. Okay, so the past perfect continuous means that an action, a past action, started and finished in the past. But that action is a completed action. And this completed action that started in the past before another past action only lasted in a particular time in the past. Of course, some students now start looking at me with that face, that chalked face, and they do not understand anything. Wait. Before you close the video, let's look here in the chart. So when we look at the chart here, we're gonna find that the action closest to the past side is the action that happened first. But how do we know? Because the second action is close to the present. So yes, the first action is the past perfect continuous, which lasted for only a particular time in the past. And before this action, which is closer to the present. Now, let me encourage you to use the past perfect continuous in your own life. And how do you even use it? Maybe you use this past perfect continuous tense with your dad or with your friends or with a family, but you do not realize that. Let me give you a little example that happens to all of us. You had been studying all day, but your father has no camera to watch you, and you can't give him a reason that you have been studying all day. So you are waiting for him to come from his job, to come home, but unfortunately, your father entered the house and found you on your couch or on the sofa, holding your phone, snapping and chatting with your best friend. So he always, of course, gonna be angry. What are you doing? I thought that you were studying. Well, of course you're gonna answer your dad with a very politely note. I had been studying all day, Dad. But let's focus on two actions only. Had been studying all day, came home. So when your father came home, you had been studying all day. What I mean is, had been studying all day is the first action, the action that happened first, the past perfect continuous that happened first. But the past simple, the ordinary past action, happened second. So yes, the oldest takes had been. So yes, the oldest action that started and lasted in a particular time in the past takes had been. But the normal past tense or the past action takes past simple. So for example, I had been studying all day. My father came. Your father didn't see you studying all day, but you had been studying all day. Otherwise, you are lying. So, as we know how to use the past perfect continuous in our life, let me tell you the points that we're going to talk about in this video. We're going to know some uses of this tense, the form of this tense, and we're going to take some exercises to know that you have learned this lesson perfectly. First, let's take the form of this tense. Affirmative form, had plus been plus the infinitive form of the verb plus ing. For example, I had been crying since yesterday. So we have three states that we add the ing. For example, verbs ending in e, as live, wipe, close, etc. We drop e. Had plus been plus the infinitive form of the verb plus ing. So, for example, I had been living here. And now, with verbs ending in y preceded by a consonant, like spy or fly, or try, etc. Y remains as itself, so the y does not become I. So the form had plus been plus the infinitive form of the verb plus ing. For example, I had been spying on my neighbors. Verbs ending in consonant preceded by a vowel, like sit or rob, we double the consonant. The form had plus been plus the infinitive form of the verb plus ing. For example, I had been sitting all day. And now, let's move into the negative form. Had plus not plus been plus the infinitive form of the verb plus ing. For example, I hadn't been waiting for too long. And yes, we can also say I had not been waiting, but hadn't is a conjugate of had not. In question, we have two types of question, yes or no question, WH question. First, yes or no question, had plus noun, plus been, plus the infinitive form of the verb plus ing. Had you been waiting here? Second, WH question, we use the question word plus had, plus noun, plus been, plus the infinitive form of the verb plus ing, and of course the question mark. Where had John been hiding? The difficult but my favorite part, the uses. So we're going to know how to use the past perfect continuous in this video. So let's go. First, the past perfect continuous emphasizes the duration of an activity that wasn't progressed before another activity or time in the past. For example, I had been waiting for Malak since morning, and finally the queen appeared from the dark. So, let's look at the chart here to know what I'm talking about. The first action, waiting, happened first, but appeared happened second. So we know which one lasted for too long or in a particular time in the past and which didn't. Second, the past perfect continuous expresses the activity in progress, closing time to another activity or time in the past. For example, it was raining outside. I was close to home. So when I got home, my mom opened the door. You are wet? Yes, Mom, it was raining outside. Well, so it was raining outside. You had been walking all day and didn't think of taking a taxi? Last but not least, the third use of the past perfect continuous. So we use the past perfect continuous to talk about bad habit. For example, I had been throwing dirty tissues on the floor when I was a child. This is a very disgusting thing. But anyway, I was doing that, but now I stopped doing that. Ew. Anyway, so as we know the uses of the past perfect continuous, let's move on the exercise. Well, we have two exercises on the board. It's gonna appear to you right now. But before you answer those questions, let me tell you something. I'm very, very, very proud of you because you continued this video till here. And you're gonna try to answer the exercises. Good job. No, excellent job. So answer now. Okay, so the first question, I was sleeping while my mom was cooking. I put was because this is an ordinary past continuous tense. While, past continuous, while, past continuous. So it's very ordinary. None of the action happened in the past or happened first. Those actions happened together in the same time. This action didn't cut this action, and this action didn't cut this action. So both happened in the same time. So the correct answer here is past continuous. But the second question, had been plus sleeping. So I had been sleeping before my dad came or when my mom finished cooking. So I had been sleeping is an action that started first and continued till my mom finished cooking and finished or still continued, we don't know, when my dad came. But it happened first. How do we know? Because of had been. And yes, this is the end of the video. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna miss you guys. Okay, before I leave, I can't do that. I'm calm now. Okay, before I leave, I hope you studied this lesson so well, know the use and know the form. And we're gonna get ready for the next tense. Why are we still here? We have already finished the past perfect continuous tense. So leave! Never mind guys, nothing happened. Goodbye and thanks for watching!